Hello, and welcome to Morning Motivation. I'm your host, Dakiana Jackson, small business marketing coach and founder of Inspired Marketing, Inc. Today's lesson is inspired by a quote from Walt Disney. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Or as the Nike brand puts it, just do it. If you're anything like me, you're full of ideas, great ideas, ideas that can change the world for your clients once you implement them. But despite having these ideas, many of them never leave your notebook. Why not? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's usually because we have convinced ourselves that one or more of the following phrases are true. I'm going to share these phrases with you, show you why they're not true, and then issue you a challenge at the end of this lesson. The first phrase is, my product or service is not good enough yet. This is a lie, and you should eliminate that phrase not good enough from your vocabulary right now. As long as your product or service solves a client problem, it's good. I bet if you really took inventory of yourself and your resources, you do have enough to get started right now. No, you may not be able to afford an expensive online shopping cart, but there's always PayPal or Square. You may not have a mailing list of 25,000 people, but between friends, family, and social media, you probably have at least 1,000. You have to reframe your thinking. Recognize that your product or service may not be perfect, but you're going to put it out there anyway and see what happens. If people buy it, figure out why and keep doing that. If they don't, again, examine why, tweak things where necessary, and keep going. The second phrase is, I'm scared. Okay, this is a valid feeling, but you have to push past that too. I've been there. I remember when I first launched this podcast, I was scared that I posted up and no one would listen to it. Or worse, people would listen to it and then tell me it was horrible and a huge waste of their time. I sucked it up, recorded, and put up that first lesson anyway. I've published several more since then and incorporate any feedback I get into making it better. You have to do the same. And if you know you've done your due diligence to make your product or service a success, launch, and your inner circle does berate you for it, you need a new circle. But that's a lesson for another day. The third phrase is, I don't have time to work on my business. We're all given the same 24 hours to work within a day. The reason we're putting off our goals isn't so much about time as it is about priorities and appropriate goal setting. First, we'll tackle priorities. As busy as you are, if I were to give you 2 tickets that got you a front row seat to see your favorite performer, speaker, or sports team, complete with backstage passes, and you had to use them in the next 3 days or they'd be gone forever, I'm pretty sure you'd find a way to make that happen. You have to treat your business the same way. I'd like you to take a true inventory of how you're spending your time, and then reduce the non-essentials. Do you really need to binge watch on Netflix every night? How much more time would you have if you got up when the alarm went off the first time in the morning instead of hitting snooze 5 times instead? There are probably a few things you could eliminate from your schedule to give yourself anywhere from 15 minutes to a couple hours of free time a day. If you have a lot on your plate, carving out a few extra minutes can feel impossible. Believe me, I know. I'm married, and up until June 2015, when my husband got a kidney transplant, he did home dialysis 5 days a week. Our days were filled with scheduling and executing treatments, clinic visits, and even helping him with his music production company and other business ventures outside of dialysis. These days, there are still doctor visits and monitoring. I'm also a mom of 2 girls. That means homework help, doing hair, transportation to and from school, and extracurriculars, teacher meetings, and some actual fun here and there too. On top of all that, I'm running a business and have to remember to take care of myself somewhere in there also. Talk about a full plate. For me to get more time to work on my business, one thing I do is get up earlier or stay up later than the rest of my family. It's during these quiet moments that I can draft and record a podcast, outline a video lesson, write a blog post, or work on a client marketing project. Examine your schedule and do the same thing for you. Here's the second part of the equation, managing your new time. Now that you've got all this extra time, what do you do with it? Especially if the list of things you have to do for your business is huge. This is what you do. There's a quote that asks, how do you eat an elephant? The answer? One bite at a time. We often see the tasks we need to do in order to make our business great as the elephant. It's huge and impossible to get through. Again, you have to reframe your thinking. What are the one bite at a time tasks you can finish that get you closer to the full goal or the whole elephant? Say your goal is to relaunch your website. That sounds huge, especially if you're not a technical person. What if, instead, you say this? With the extra hour I now have in my day, I'm going to spend 1 week writing 1 to 2 pages of website content each day. The next week, I'm going to locate 3 potential web designers and have an informational interview with them. The week after that, I'm going to hire a designer. Sounds more manageable, right? You can do this. Those are the 3 phrases you need to push past in order to start doing things in your business. Again, they are 1. My product or service is not good enough yet. 2. I'm scared. And 3. I don't have time to work on my business. Instead, adopt these phrases. 1. I will launch and perfect along the way. 2. I will breathe and move through the fear. And 3. I will make time to work on my business goals. I want you to remember that you don't have to do this alone. If you need any help putting these into action, I'm here for you. Just email me at dcbrooks@inspiredmarketinginc.com and we can get started. Now, it's time for the challenge I told you about. It's simple. Do something for your business today. Don't write something in a notebook that'll get shelved. Don't paste more inspirational photos on your vision board. Don't write another task on your ever-growing to-do list. Pick something and do it. Here are some examples to get you started. Maybe you could write and publish a blog post you've been putting off for a while. You could reach out to someone in a complementary business about a potential partnership. How about sending a newsletter to your mailing list? Don't have one? Okay, your task could be to sign up for a mailing list service. Record an audio tip. Post it on your website or social media, or both. Contact that person who said she wants to hear more about your business, but you've been putting it off. There are endless examples, but pick one thing you can realistically get done today that will move your business forward. Do something. My something was recording this lesson for you today. What's yours? This has been Dakiana Jackson with your morning motivation. If you need help marketing your business, or even just a little motivation to keep going, contact me at www.inspiredmarketinginc.com. Until next time, have a blessed day.